Welcome again to After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. I'm Shawn Cornelius. And tonight, man, I got a fantastic, wonderful guest on the show tonight. He is a very, very talented, multi-talented gentleman, funny guy, all around good brother. He's an actor. He is a he's a comedian. He's a comedian. He don't make money professionally, but he's a comedian. He's also a DJ. He is a director now. He's a writer. He's a producer and just an all-around talent. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, please welcome to the show tonight, my friend and hopefully your friend after this, Mr. Al Bynum. You there, brother? I see.
Oh yeah. I'm here. There you go. I got lost for a second.
You want to make an entrance. You want to make an entrance like all superstars do, right?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Good to see my man Shawn. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh man, thank you for being here. This is awesome to be able to have one of my comrades in the acting, but just all around, somebody I can call my brother to the show. Thanks for coming.
Yes, indeed, no doubt.
Hey man, for the past couple of years, for a while you've been pretty busy, man. So I want people to know a little bit about you really quickly before we get into the meat, because I got a special thing going on tonight on this show. It feels like it's a real show because people have been debuting things and bringing music and stuff to the show. And hey, man, so we got a special thing going on. But Al, please let the people know a little bit about yourself really quickly, and we'll just keep it moving.
Oh yeah, man. Oh man. No, definitely blessings from God, and just being busy. I've always been busy since a little kid. Like I always got into something, When I remember when breakdancing came out, I was out there trying to breakdance. When they was rapping, I was out there trying to rap. And I always remember my dad told me that, whatever you do, be the best at it. And that stuck with me, So, basketball is my thing. I grew up playing basketball and listening to what my dad said, be the best at it. And it earned me a basketball scholarship to Livingstone College, which we played against y'all a couple times.
Sure. You probably played. You may not have won, but you probably played. I don't know. You good, so you might
have. Yeah, and then doing that, then always was into the music. I started off playing a few instruments, bass guitar, a little bit of keyboard. And then I was fascinated about DJing. I remember watching Grandmaster Flash, and I'm like, wow, yo, that's nice what he's doing. And then I started learning to do that, and so always had that ear for music. Then I started working with children, and I always loved children, and I still work with kids to this day. And doing the acting thing, I got into doing that. I'm like, wow, being able to portray somebody else and get the crowd to believe the character that you're doing, and I just was like, yo, that is deep right there, and starting a mentoring program. So the list just goes on and on. Being blessed to even go back to school now and get my degree. So the plate just been heavy, but God is moving me though. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, and that's one of the most important things when that you see. I didn't mention, but you did. You're a very spiritually founded brother, and you're a believer, and you can tell by your moves how things are happening for you. That God is definitely with you, and you're a believer on that, man. So let's go backwards, Al. Let's go back. Let's start with January 20th, 2020, where you were part of a film called Whatever It Takes, the movie When Blood Runs Cold.
Oh man, I was excited. I've done film before, some short films and things like that. And be honest with you, I like the plays better because I had to get used to the filming because, okay, cut, now we're going to do it this way. Cut, now we're going to do it this way. Cut, now I want you to do that again. But as far as the stage, once you get on the stage, it's live and ain't no going back. But I'm starting to love it a lot, and in that January, Brother Shawn and Omar, they working together and pulled me in to play a character. And it's like when I played basketball, wasn't scared, but always get a little bit of butterflies. And then when I understood how you wanted the character, how Shawn wanted the character played, and then he told me no holds barred. That's all he had to say. And it was a beautiful experience just being on the set and watch, listening to the different terms and how you can set up camera this way, knowing what a B-rolls was. Like, I ain't know what, they said B-rolls. I was like, let me just watch because I don't know what a B-roll is. Right, so it was a learning experience as well as having a lot of fun.
Hey man, you did your thing. You did your thing as well. That's why you were casted in that role, man. Because I've known you for a while. Like you said, brother Omar, you've known him for a long time, and you actually, let's go back a little further. The year before that, when you were in his musical, uh,
Oh
you know,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
back in
Music.
the days, yeah,
Back
back
in
in
the
the
days,
days,
yes, yes,
we were
yes.
we were in that project together.
Yes, yes, I'm always willing to learn. When I get on the stage, I bring it. I mean, I love what I do, and I've always been a performer since playing basketball, playing in crowds of people, and I love the crowd. It just gives me energy. Like we would play away games, and the crowd booing and this, and it would just give me crazy energy. So I always
Yeah,
love the crowd, and so coming here and being on stage, I dealt with a lot. I dealt with jealousy and stuff because when I get on the stage, I just bring it. And I'm not trying to outshine nobody. I'm just going up there to do what I do because I love to do it. And it was fun. I was just like, I hope they'll ask me to sing because I don't know about the singing part, but you, and
yeah,
it was
yeah.
beautiful working with you as well, Shawn. I got to know more about you, the type of person you was, and watching how you moved and how you did things. So I learned a lot watching you as well.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it, and I learned a lot from everybody as well. That's one of the things you're supposed to grab from doing things and working with different people because we don't know it all. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? We
right.
can learn something from everybody, man. And your professionalism, no matter how crazy you were behind the scenes, when it was time to say action and get in the spot, you were on time. You was on point, and that's one of the reasons why I was like, "Yo, I got to work with this brother because regardless of the antics and that was your energy, you stayed professional, and that was the best thing. So that's, I think, we became closer from the musical to the film to things that we're doing now. And so again, before I get more into the projects, because we can jump in that, I think I'm gonna hold you down here for the second half too, so you can hang out for an hour, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Okay, so we're gonna do some more of this talking about the career stuff, but I want to get you into this because you got career. So let's jump personal because this is after dark, and there are people out there watching. I want to say hello to everybody. Tariq, Mr. Kim says, "Hey Barry, what up, Cool B?" Michelle Mo
Yeah.
says, "Like that you give God all the praise He's worthy." And people are making comments. So we've got about 12 to 15 people on watching. And if you guys have questions for Al, please make sure you just go ahead and put them up and I'll ask him the questions. But this is called After Dark for a reason, man. And Tuesday nights I have the estrogen in the building. I have a
Oh yeah.
female. I have a female guest tonight. I have the testosterone brothers in the house right now. So let me ask you some things about relationships and dealing with women and these things that you might want to that people want to know. Are you presently in a relationship right now?
Oh yes, most definitely. I have a beautiful young lady that I'm with, and we get along well.
Now, how do you get along, man? What is the basis of your relationship being so well right now? Because I know the young lady as well, and you guys are really two beautiful people. What makes it work for you, man? Because sometimes a lot of people get on the show, they come and even on Facebook, they'll talk about certain things that just don't match up and work for them. What's one thing that works for you and your lady in your relationship that makes it work?
Well, there's quite a few things, but I'm gonna say the main thing that work is we pray together all the time. Whether she's at my house or she's home, when we wake up in the morning before cause we on another show that we be on, and so before I'll call her or she'll call me. We get up and we'll talk a little bit. I'm getting ready for work, and she'll be like, "Baby, let's pray before you go out." Or I'll say, "Okay, pray," and we'll take turns. Okay, who's gonna pray today, you or me? So that's the first thing to start our day off. We pray together.
And that's a beautiful thing, man, because I even on the set, when we would do before we would do our shoots, we always prayed, and Al, you were the chaplain, and you prayed the majority of the prayers, man, even with a gun in your hand, that fake gun. You always, so
I
you
put
always,
the gun away and prayed.
that always put people in place with that fake gun in your hand. But that's a very important thing, man, because if you are in tune together spiritually, that's like half the battle.
Yes.
Uh, going like what let's go a little deeper than that, man. Obviously you guys were physically attracted to each other. What's something for you that attracts you to women or your relationship? Give me two of Al's characteristics that attract him to a woman.
Ready to be spontaneous. Definitely ready to be spontaneous. Cause I like to please my woman. I might just do something out of the blue, just give you a flower, just do something out of the blue and say, or we sit in the house, be like, you know what, let's do something crazy. You know what, let's go to an arcade and play. So just, being spontaneous is one. And definitely, if you're gonna be with me, you have to have a sense of humor.
Totally.
Those are two of the main things.
So that's really, we got three of them, man. We got spiritual, we got spontaneous, and you got to have a sense of humor.
Right.
Those are three very solid ones, man. Solid ones. They're very, very good, man. I'm being a comedian myself just by career. I like to laugh too, and when a female can make me laugh, and I don't have to carry it, that's a good thing for me.
Right.
But that spontaneous, it keeps the relationship lively. It keeps it good because you never know what's going to happen. Estrogen is always strong in the house from D. Pamela Ellis says, "Hey y'all." Tyreek says, "When two or three gather in Jesus' name, He will be in the midst." And Shernise says, "You must be a Sag." I think she's saying Sagittarius. Are you Sagittarius?
Nah, Scorpio. My birthday Tuesday. Tuesday, my birthday. Scorpio in the building.
All right, calm down, whatever. Got a Leo over here, but nah, that's good. Happy birthday early. But that's the truth, man. Because a lot of times women will say that guys are not very open and expressive with their feelings or energies. Are you one of those brothers that doesn't have a problem expressing his feelings or crying in front of a woman or letting her know your emotions?
No, not at all. And this is where a lot of guys, I believe, mess up. Like what worked for me may not work for the next person, but you need to find if you call this person your woman, all right, this is my mate. You should know everything about it. You should know her favorite color, what food she like to eat, and being able to open up comfortably in front of her. So I don't have a problem with that at all.
Okay, all right. I don't know what Pam is responding to, but she's saying hell no. So I have no idea what that's about.
Pam must be drinking.
Maybe she got to be she got some alcohol sitting back. I don't know. You'll have to expand on that one. Everybody's telling you happy birthday though early. They will be wishing you a happy birthday.
Appreciate it.
So that's good, man. Because I find that with some women, like I know there's a lot of dudes who, because of the way they were raised, and this whole manhood and men are supposed to be a certain way, they won't express themselves on that level, even though we all do it somehow. Right. But they don't want that woman to see it because it's a sign of weakness to them, and that blocks you from opening up to your mate and letting her in. Some you can't let all the way in because some women can't handle a man or don't know how to deal with a man who's open like that.
Right.
Some women do think that's soft. A lot of grown women don't. But that's a good thing because the woman is always pretty much going to open up to her man when she feels comfortable.
Right.
She'll, to the point of vulnerability, unless she's been dealt some bad cards.
Right.
And then she's kind of putting the wall up. Pamela said, "I'm responding to your question when you asked Al if he was afraid to express himself." She was like, hell no.
She knows.
Good deal. Right. So this is good, man. And as far as no way cry, we have enough tissue. I support my husband. That's from Shernice. Love a man who is sensitive. And that's good, you ladies, because I'm sure you ladies know how to handle that. But there's some women out there who, the minute a man starts crying, be on the phone, girl, I can't breathe. No, he's in the bathroom. I hear him sniffling, girl. Then that messes the dude up. Then he don't want to open up.
Right.
But that's cool, man. No, that's another blessing. That's another good thing. Do you find yourself a good communicator, Al? Do you on a scale of 1 to 10, your communication skills?
I would say a 10. One of the things when people ask me about me and my lady, like, well, how do y'all do this and how do you do that? One of my main thing is communication. You definitely got to communicate, and you have to learn from past relationships. From growing up and learning. Wow, I could have did this better, or I could have did this differently, and humble yourself. Some people can't humble. Like, perfect example. I used to be stubborn and didn't know it. And I remember my grandmother saying, when you hear something more than once from different people, you need to check yourself.
Right.
And I remember a young lady telling me like, Al, you stubborn. Then when I sat back and looked, now I thought I heard it about 5 times, I
Right.
sat back and I listened and I thought, and I was like, wow, she's right. Because, at that point in my life, it's like, okay, you my woman, we get in an argument, you go home or whatever, you hang up the phone. If you don't call me, I'm not calling you.
Right.
I'm
Right.
not doing it.
Right.
If you don't call me, then I guess we'll never talk. And that was just being stubborn, and I had to look back at that and I was like, wow, that's right. I need to change that. And,
Sure.
being humble enough to say, okay, you know what? That's an issue. I need to change that. What I'm saying? I need to communicate. I used to hold things in, but you would know because I'll treat you different. And it's unhealthy. So I
Right.
said, nah, I got to communicate no matter what's what. One of the biggest thing on the communication part that worked for me and my lady is that every so often, we don't pick a time. It could be every 3 months, every 6 months, whenever we feel, and we would sit down and talk. All right, baby, have I been doing anything that you don't like?
Right.
And be man enough to listen to her if she say, well, yeah, you do this sometime and I'm really not too fond of it, and be like, okay, baby, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. And we do that. We'll sit down and we're willing to hear the truth and then change it or work on it, and that's communication.
That's definitely communication. That's a beautiful thing. Let me ask you a rhetorical question because I'm going somewhere where I know I can go with you because early this year, and you and I had discussions because we're close like that. You basically will support her in any situation. Am I right?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
You got her back through a thick 100 and whatever, 150 thick and thin.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. And I know she'll do that for you because earlier this year, right now we're dealing with the pandemic, and I hope you don't mind because I know
Oh no, no.
you've educated folks on this, and I thought that was such a great thing for you to do. First, glad to still have you here through this when we're dealing with the pandemic right now. But you actually had COVID. You dealt with COVID, dealing with COVID, the
Yes.
the, the virus.
Yes.
And I want you to please tell the folks out there because I know she was with you by your side before, during, and now, because she was the one that we would call me and tell me what's going on with you. And then I would call her back and say, all right, let's get them together. Let's make sure you're doing such, such, such. Can you tell the folks out there that are watching, man, your experiences with that and how that runs into what I was just talking about with your relationship with her and dedicating yourself to each other?
Right. COVID. You know, a lot of people talked about COVID, don't know nothing about it. People treating it like it's the flu. Believe me, it's bigger than the flu. Everybody gets something a little different. But for me, you know, it felt like the flu on steroids.
Okay.
you know,
Right.
so here we got a new virus that's out. We don't know too much about it. And I got sick. My temperature was 102 and higher every day for 11 days straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they, the news, they tell you whatever they want us to hear. It's contagious, which it is. It was the most contagious virus that I ever seen. And my woman was there regardless. And it's so funny because I knew somebody who had the virus too. And their woman was like, well, I'll call you on the phone, but I'm not coming over there because I don't want to get sick and this and that.
Right.
And my woman didn't think about it twice. You sick, baby. I said, baby, you don't have. I'm coming over there. I'm bringing you something to eat. I'm bringing you something to drink, and you're gonna be there. And she was here, and I was scared that she might get sick, but she didn't care. She's like, I'm here for you. And I think one of the biggest thing was one night my temperature got so high till my body got cold, where no matter what I did, I got to the point where I was shivering, where I was, and now you talking about during the summer, and I would breathe and smoke came out my mouth. That's how cold I was while I was shivering. And she got in the bed with me and grabbed me and held me, and she hates being cold.
Right.
she
Right.
she loves being warm. And she was like, my hands felt like they were just frozen. And she was like, I know you cold, just put your hands on me, hug me. And she hugged me and held me and just started praying. And I was like, wow, she didn't even think about her own health. She was just concerned, like, yo, I got your back. I told you I'm gonna be here. And that was just a beautiful thing. And I was like, wow, this woman is a keeper. you
Yeah,
know.
man. Yeah, and see, that was such a wonderful thing, as because you know, um, this thing is not gone.
It's not.
gone. It's even back where they're talking about ramping it up. It's ramped up now. And I just want to say to people watching, man, please take care of yourselves. Do the best you can to take care of yourself. If
Keeping
nobody's going
our
to look
immune
out for
system
you,
strong.
you look out for yourself and look out for them. Wear your mask. If we think if this is what it is that's going to protect us from this thing, even if you don't know, just do it. Put your mask on. Stay away from folks. Do what you got to do. Thanksgiving is coming up. Stay away from those gatherings because it's real. I was watching CNN last night, man, and it's a sad story about two young parents who lost their 5-year-old daughter to this.
Yeah.
Your 5-year-old daughter to this. And remember early they were saying, oh, kids are immune to it and blah, 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 because of their immune system. But you don't know. We don't know. They don't know.
They
Right now, I
don't.
can tell you a story of somebody I know right now is on a rest on the
Ventilator.
machine. Yeah, the ventilator. He's getting better, but he's still in that area, man. It's because they had to do coma in a coma. It's not nothing to play with. So we just definitely have to be there. Matter of fact, let me read a couple of these comments. And I was going to mention her name. I was going to ask you to mention her name, but she put a comment on here. So let me read a couple. One says, as long as I've known Al, he's always been a person that was man enough to change to, and I really love and appreciate that about him. Shanice says, wow, I'm happy you made it through. My husband lost his dad.
Wow.
He says, but God. Santa says, amen. Michelle says, she's a woman of God. Shanice says, my husband got sick. I was on it. He came through old school remedies, and then I got sick. It was hard for me to breathe while yet my husband got cold too. I lied on top. She lied. She did the same thing basically Tamika did,
The
laid
body.
on top of him for the body heat. Tamika says, your physical health is so important. The numbers are increasing. And Tamika Evans Jones is Al's equal or better half. She's on here now, and that's what she says. Your physical health is so important. She's a very good woman, a good person. So thank you and kudos to her on that level. So Al, again, this is after dark, brother.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh yeah.
question before we go into this little situation here, like I ask every guest, from 1 to 10, because I usually do the 100% down or whatever. How important is physical activity? How important is sex, man? How important is romance, intimacy? How important is sex, man? Did you hear me? How important is sex?
Well, I'm gonna be straight with you. I very important. Very, I listen to people and they sit back and they be like, well, the sex is not important. Stop it. It's very important because you should be able to please your partner all the way around. And some guys they sit there and it's like they don't want to talk about it or they don't want to listen. But you hear your woman out, know what she like, know what she like done and what makes her feel good, and that you'll keep her that way too. Because they always say something what you won't do, somebody else will.
Well, exactly. There's some young ladies chiming in, giving their numbers from 1 to 10. Michelle Monroe Scott says it's a 10. Shanice says it's a 10. And then Shanice says amen. So we know what's up. We know
All the agreement, all the agreement.
yeah, Tamika didn't answer. That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting to see that one. But anyway, to me, you know me, man. I'm a romantic brother, and I believe it's important. On some days it's a 10, some days it's a 2. Some days it's a 5. It just depends on what day that is. I think sex can be used, or intimacy or romance can be used to relax a situation in your relationship. Tamika says 10,000. Giving you props now. All right, don't be using my show and my all that. Let me do the nasty.
That's right, baby. Tell
I think it can be, as you get older, you learn how and when it's appropriate and how to use it. Because
right, right.
sometimes we look at it and we use it as a quickie. We need that little quickie. Then sometimes we go and use it. It's a marathon. We want to make love. Then sometimes you just want somebody to grab your hair and just kind of, just rock and roll it.
Drag you around the room.
Right. But there you go. But I think it's a very thing. Let's see. Santa, here we go. Now here comes someone who's going against the grain. Sex is not everything. I want intimacy on other levels. Now, did you hear me say anything about I said sex? Santa, you listen to me. Santa is a regular. She comes on. I didn't say sex was everything. Nobody said that. We said it can be used at times where it's important. You're not going to get intimacy all the time. Am I correct or am I not correct?
Yeah, you're true.
You're
You're
not going to
true.
get intimacy all the time. There's no way that you're going to get intimacy on other levels all the time. Now I know what she's saying because we've had this conversation on other platforms with her. But no, you have to take it for what it's worth in the moment you have it. And if you have that, what
Right.
we talked about it earlier, communication,
Communication.
your
Yeah.
partner, then it's good. Then it's good. It's good. Right now, so I'm gonna put you on the spot. You're not gonna get sex all the time. That's what I'm saying. You see how these women always want
I
to.
know.
They always want. They heard what I said, but that I just they need to battle themselves on Facebook. Y'all heard exactly what I said. Thank you, D. D said sometimes you just need your back blown out. That's my girl. Tamika said that's so true. Al is a very busy guy. So I guess you get in when you fit in. You know
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No,
Uh,
that's great. So all right. So we got that. We know that's good. And I'm sure people got some information from you. Uh, um, tell the folks, man, what you're doing now, because we're gonna take a break in a minute. We're gonna go into the second half and talk about some things. They're actually laughing and having a good time over there.
yeah.
I hope you ladies that are laughing and giggly have a man or something. So after this show you can get your thing together. If not, call me 555-7272. Let's talk about what you're doing now, and then we're gonna run in and take a break in about 3 minutes and come right back and get in because Al is doing some great things. Man, tell them what you're doing now because of the pandemic. What have you done?
Well, with the pandemic, working with Shawn, my last projects and stuff, man. I've been working with Shawn, and I'm a member of this podcast Due Time with Pastor Steph. She invited me on, and I'm on there Mondays and Fridays, and it's a blessing. We talk about real things like what we're doing right now. Hitting the audience and talking about it. It's a great group of people on there, and she actually was doing something about Black Lives Matter, and she asked me to write something, and I was like, man, I'm doing school, I'm doing this, and I just prayed about it. Then I sat down and said, okay, and then my pen just started flowing. There was so much to say about Black Lives Matter, but I wanted to hit on key points.
Right.
So I wrote it, I changed some stuff out. Tamika was with me. She's like, no, I like that. Put that in. And so she helped me take some things out, put some stuff in, and then finished it. And then so we did she filmed me with my camera, did a few things. And of course, Shawn, my buddy, him, Tyreek, Pam, I love you guys, man, and I care about what you think. And I sent you guys, the thing of it. And Shawn, you hit me back like, oh my God, that's powerful. And you was like, you should enter it in the short and see what
Yep.
happens.
Festivals.
And I
Yep.
didn't even think about that.
Yep.
And then so I was like, okay, well, how do we do this? How can we make this happen? And of course, you did the editing on it, and oh man, we sent me the draft, and we made a couple of changes. Then Tyreek was like, oh, you know what? We should put it in some more film festivals. And
Right.
so it's starting to just blow up now. Some people are looking at it, and Pam, she gave me she looked at it and gave me her advice on it, on what she saw. She loved it as well, and she saw some things to take it on a different level. And so I'm excited about it now, and it's just like some people heard it, and everybody that heard it love it. So
Yeah, and I want to let the people know though, Al. Al is known for his comedic stuff. He's known for his hyperactivity, his funny, his talent is the funny bone. But this
yeah,
piece that he wrote, and this is one thing that I really loved about him because he is very talented, and I just said what people tell me, man, if you got depth, so show your depth. You're not just a funny dude. You can be a dramatic actor. And you said that coming off of the movie, you wanted to do different things. You know what
right,
I mean? And the characters that you wanted to play. So that's what I thought about. I said, hey man, listen, I'll write some stuff and I'll give you a holler. And I wrote this thing called the Decision that he plays a role in. We'll talk about it in the next half. And also coming up, the Confessions. He'll be in part two of Confessions, which part one of Confessions is already written and in film festivals right now. But he wrote his piece What's it called?
The Message.
It's called The Message. And what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a quick break. And I'm doing this for television. Take a quick break. I'm going to count down and then we're going to come back and I'm going to feature that. You're going to see it for the first time in the public, right?
Yes,
Right
edited
here,
every day.
right here after dark with Shawn Cornelius. We're going to debut Al Bynum's piece, The Message, which I was so humbled and honored to be able to work on, man. And we're going to let them see it, all right?
Yes.
All right, so Al, before we go into the break, tell them where they can find you, your social media and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm getting used to social media. I'm not a big social media person, but I'm starting to get there. But you can find me on Facebook at Al Bynum. That's me on Facebook, and then on Instagram is DJ underscore cool KOOL_B, and that's where you can find me at.
Cool. All right, so let's take that quick break. I'm gonna count it down and we'll come right back on in. Take a break right now.
Cool.
All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. We are back. It's the magic of television. We are back with my Al Bynum. And Al, I feel so great, like it's a real television show. I want you to introduce the clip really quickly, all right? I want you to do that, and then we're going to go into your clip, and you tell them what it is, and we're going to get rocking.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. I'd like to introduce you to, I wrote it and produced it, and Shawn did his magic to it. So y'all check it out, The Message.
The word on the streets is that Black lives matter. But some people who don't understand would say that all lives matter. But all lives can't matter until Black lives matter. You know, when I look into the mirror, I see intelligence. I see handsome. I see a man that can change the world. I see a strong Black man. I see a young king. Yeah. But when the cops see me, they see a thug. They see a criminal. They see a suspect. They see a threat. They see an aggressor. They see a nigger. So now I become their target practice. They shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot until I don't exist anymore. Hands up mean absolutely nothing to them. This is an example of social injustice. They're trying to bring back like how it was in the old days. They're trying to eradicate us. But there is a solution. The solution is to do like Dr. King did, march, not fight. But with a little Malcolm X added. Protest, yes. Stand your ground, hell yeah. But don't loot and burn down your own hood. Because that's exactly what they expect us to do. Be angry, because I am angry. But be smart. You see, you weren't born a racist. Racism is something that is taught. Understand, my brothers and sisters. We all have a target on our backs. They are afraid of us. So we must stick together. We must look out for one another. We must vote and let our voices be heard. United we stand, divided we fall. And I'll say it again. All lives can't matter until Black lives matter. And if you don't know, now you know.
My man.
Oh yeah.
My man. My man. That was hot, man. You're getting applause and fire.
Man, I appreciate the love. Definitely
Yeah,
appreciate it.
all the love coming from that over there, man. Listen, brother, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud. I'm not saying that just because, when you sent me the piece, when I first saw it, I was like, wow. So I was very excited, man, and I was when you should have seen me in here editing. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, Pete, let's put this piece. Oh, the music, let's cut this. No, the piece. Oh my God, the picture of the cops in the hood. Kudos. Bravo, man.
You did a great job, man, editing and putting it together, man. You did a great job. My baby Tamika, she did a great job filming.
Yes, filming it, and it was an effort, completely cooperative effort, man. So congratulations. I know it's going to do you some justice because it's a wonderful message. Hey, Wakila, Michelle throws all the hands up. Denise gives you thumbs up and a heart. Tariq says fire, and D says hand clap fire, and Pam gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it's 8 standing ovations. I guess that's what it is. And Tamika should be the only one giving you these lips. She puts the kissy face. So that should be the only person giving kisses like this. Hey man, congratulations, brother.
Thank you.
Now tell me, man, because I like this being able to talk to somebody who creates like that, because I know where my creative juices go. What was the inspiration, and did you what kind of pushed you to do that piece?
Well, again, Pastor Steph, who she's a beautiful person. I've known her for a long time, and when she came to me, and she's like, "Hey, listen, I need you to write something on Black Lives." And I'm looking, I'm like, "Okay, I'm still learning this writing thing," and she's like, "I want you to write something on this Black Lives Matter." And I was sitting down, and I was like, "Okay, what can I say that everybody else ain't saying something different?" But I wanted to come across strong, and and so I'm thinking. I had the paper that I wrote something, I ripped the paper up. That's okay. I don't want to push it. Let me just, I remember Tyreek, that's my man, that's my brother. And he always told me, Al, you could do it, man. He helped me when I wrote my very first, short. And so I remember Tyreek said, hey, don't push it, take a break for a minute. And I had the news on, and I'm just watching what Donald Trump was doing. And I actually was getting angry about it. I'm like, wow, Black people just don't see it. And then I heard somebody was like, Black Lives Matter. And somebody else was like, well, I don't say Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. And I was like, okay, you know what? And then and that what made me start it off, word on the street, Black Lives Matter. But some people would say that all lives matter, and because when she said that, I was like, but how can all lives matter? All lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter, because all lives means everybody. So right. That was my first start off. And then it just flowed from that, just what I was feeling, what I'm seeing going on, things happened to me with the cops. It just all came in, and I just started writing.
Well, no, man, it's awesome because it really obviously it suits the times. that we're in and that we've been in forever. It's not like it's gone away. You understand what I'm saying? We all know it hasn't gone anywhere. It's been going on since the inception of the United States of America, and it's such a sad thing that we are in this situation still now today that we've always been in. So I think
Right.
the piece is going to be relevant. Hopefully, one day it's not relevant, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely.
Hopefully one day all of these things that we deal with and we talk about, and especially this, I'm going to pop up on the screen really quickly because you also supported me on this project, and
Oh yeah.
so hopefully, one day we don't have to say enough is enough. We won't have to be crying that or yelling that or screaming that or singing that, because it's a terrible, terrible thing. So I want to thank you too for supporting me on my platform for the enough is enough situation, and because we got to keep doing these things, man. We're that generation now where we have to be the voice, and we got to continue to show. Like I let people go out there in the streets, and that doesn't mean I won't go, but I let them, the younger cats get out there and raise their voice that way and do. If I have to go out, I don't have a problem. But I want to
Right.
use this.
Hmm.
I want to use this now what I'm given and help people on that level. So that's, man, again, great piece. Congratulations on it.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's just the beginning for that, man. And like I was saying, he played a role in The Decision, which is a short film that I wrote. It's kind of like the Twilight Zone thing. It's got a few episodes, but he played a great role. It was a serious role. And that's what I was going to get at the end of the last half of the show. You played a character, Rob, that wasn't a character. He wasn't a funny guy. He had some situations going on. And I want to ask you, as I tell the people, Rob has some serious issues happening where he has to make a decision, a life altering decision. You never find out what that decision is because you go with him really quickly on the ride. How did you prepare? Because I remember sending you the script and talking to you about it. And I told you, hey, man, it's got to be serious. How did you prepare for that because of your nature of being a funny dude? I know you're an actor, but just humor me.
Yeah. Well, that was good because I'm liking to the point of playing the serious roles. I mean, I love to laugh and joke because I feel laughter is healing. But every time when I got a serious role, I said, okay, I went over the script a few times and I said, okay, this is a serious issue. May have somebody out here that's dealing with that situation. So it has to be, serious. And being that before, I had played a serious character before. And so I was just like, okay, I gotta make sure I keep it straight because I'm good for as as you being a comedian. Like I said, I consider myself a comedic actor, which
Sure.
is a different, and as you know, as being a funny person, we find funny with anything.
Right.
Any situation we can make funny. So I know I had to scratch that out of when I'm playing a serious character because I see some things and I'm like, okay, I can say this and that'll be hilarious, but you know what? That ain't the time and place for this. This is a serious character. So I concentrate on being serious and not letting out a laughter, but just being straight serious. And just working on that. And I'm still working on it. I'm thinking I'm doing pretty good with it, but I'm still working on that.
Well, you did a great job on The Decision. They'll see that as well when I release it. You and my brother Jeff, my brother from Shaw
Yeah, shout
University,
out to Big Jeff.
did a great job on that work. And Tony, who filmed it, my boy Tony, and Denise, who worked on the production team with us and things on that
Yes.
level. And I'm looking to get some folks involved. Hopefully, we will get through this thing soon. But even some of the folks that are on the live now, from Wakila and Pam, Tyreek, we've all worked together on some things, and Pam, we're working on some stuff for the future. Good night, Michelle. Michelle says, thanks for sharing. Signing off now. Wishing you Godspeed on all your endeavors. Appreciate you for coming through. Hope to see you again on another show.
Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate it.
Yes, yes. And there's several folks that are on the live that I've we've worked with and worked together. And hey, Muna, if you're still on, um, listen, man. You know, like I love the arts. I'm in love with the arts and creating. So got more things on the way coming, and it's going to be a beautiful situation. Um, I think with where we are now, we really do have to think serious about stuff. You can't drive yourself crazy. How are you, man, since your coronavirus situation? Because you right after you dealt with it and you came through it, you jumped on Facebook and you started talking to people about it, which I thought was a wonderful thing. You know, you wanted to help people. You wanted to make sure that people weren't being led in the wrong way. And one of the things that you said to folks, and I remember this that day, you said they're only feeding you the negative numbers. They're not inspiring people with the numbers of people who are surviving. And you
Right.
wanted to share things with folks to let them know, to give them some positive reinforcement, man. What are you doing now as with that situation, or are you doing anything else with it?
I'm still promoting that positive, letting people know. It was so funny because the other show I was on, I spoke about that, and I told people that, you know, uh, Corona is not a death. It's not a death wish, and a lot of people think that because again they listening to the news and they hearing what all the negative, and I've heard people like, man, you got Corona, you're dead. Even the kids I was working with, they was, I had some of my kids call me crying, and I'm like, no, coach is all right. I said, God ain't give me the spirit of fear. I said, it ain't time for me to go yet. I still got some work to do.
Right.
And just encouraging people that just because you may come across corona, that it's not a death wish. It's not your end. It can be defeated like anything else, but you have to think positive. You got to have people behind you, because I ain't gonna lie, I thought I was gonna die at one point because of the simple fact that's the trick of the enemy. And when I got the virus, and I went to the hospital when my temperature was 103, almost 104, and the doctor said ain't nothing we could do about it. And I'm sitting there like, what? Ain't nothing we can do to help. We got to send you home. And we all know when you sick and you doctor on yourself and you good, but once you go to the hospital, okay, I'm at the hospital. This place gonna take care of me. I'm good.
Right. Right.
And then for them to say I'm gonna send you home, it's nothing we could do. And then I had close friends that's around me dying, and even I have a tenant that lives in my building, and her brother died from it. And I'm like, wow, I guess this is it for me. And and I heard God's voice said, I didn't give you the spirit of fear. And that's all he said to me. I didn't give you the spirit of fear. And then the voice went away. And I'm thinking, I'm like, wow, you know what? He didn't. And I was like, you know what? I ain't going out like that. And I started feeling better and stopped laying around, getting up, making myself eat, learning more about the virus. And God told me, okay, now share it with people. And that's what made me get on Facebook. And I think within 2 days, about 4,000 people, saw it and hit up comment. I was trying to answer everybody I can, but it was
Right.
so much. And there was one young lady was like, thank you. I don't even know who she was because I told people just share it. And the young lady was like, thank you so much because I got strength now because I gave up. I thought I was done. And when I saw your speech, it just lifted me up. And I was like, don't thank me, thank the man upstairs. He told me to say it.
We got to continue to do that, man, and not just for this situation. I've got to stay prayed up. We have to
Yes,
stay prayed up on everybody, on everything, because we forget that, because since the corona jumped in, you forget about diabetes, you forget
yes,
about blood pressure, you forget about AIDS, HIV, you forget
yeah,
about those things because corona and jump past to the top of the list. But you got to continue to take care of yourself and be healthy, period, or as healthy as you can be. But one of the main important things is your mental health, your
yes,
psychological health, because if you're weak in the mind and you're defeated in the mind, just like you ever notice how a physical tired is so much more worse on you. I mean, a
yeah,
mental tired than a physical
yes,
tired. Your
yes, yes,
mental tired,
definitely.
you get tired in the mind, you just like, whoa. You can get past the physical tired, you know what I'm saying? But it just seems like
Right.
you overwork your brain, it's not there. Man, that's a wonderful thing. And again, you have inspired me as well. Because I was praying for you, brother. I pray for you daily, but I was praying for you. And I'm like, because when it first hit, and then I started hearing about other cast members who were like, what? Wait a minute. And this was the beginning, not knowing. So you
Yeah,
automatically thought the worst. And it
yes, yes,
just kept, so boom, bam, bam. And then when people started surviving or coming through it, then it was like, all right, but I'm telling you, man, to get that phone call and then to, from Tamika, And you know, she was telling me, I was like, all right, so let's make sure we get on it. We stay on him, make him drink. Well, Shawn, he don't want to drink. Well, tell him that he needs to get this in. And she would stay, you know, and I was like, you know, look, man, again, what's going on now? People, we just got to be wise. We got to be a
Yeah,
little wise. There are people running around still think it's a hoax.
yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
That's insane.
And we know it's not. We know it's not. So I really,
Definitely a
I
witness to
really, man,
that.
I praise you. And the most important thing is you got to have your God. You got to have God. You got to
Yeah,
believe in that first of all. I mean, I can't tell people who to believe in or what to believe in, but
right,
you know, I know what for Shawn. You know what I
right.
mean? So I appreciate that. I say all that just to say I appreciate you, man, for doing what you did for people as you and what you continue to do to help people and as well as myself. So I thank you so much for that, man. And I thank you for who you are.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for being my brother. I appreciate it, man. Definitely, the support. People don't understand too is support. I've seen some people, had, like you said, there's other things out there. I've seen people who had cancer, and they just feel I'm not gonna tell nobody. I don't want to be a burden. I had a friend of mine, and his sister died out the blue. He didn't know what was going on. They come to find out she had cancer, and I always tell people, it's good to let your close people know what's going on with you, because that support means so much.
Yes,
Like,
man.
you could get through, like I said, I don't know what I would have did if I didn't have Tamika with me, staying there on me and hugging me and telling me you're going to be okay, so I'm just imagining if I'd have just sat here in this house, because nobody was going outside. So
Right.
I imagine I was in the house all that time, so I can imagine me just sitting in the house by myself. Then that's when the enemy coming to attack. you
Yeah.
know
Devil starts playing with you.
yeah, so it was a beautiful thing that she was there for me. And and then and my brother, and people started giving me a call, and I appreciate you for the calls,
Yeah.
calling me out, how you doing? And it was so funny because I remember, every time Shawn called me, if y'all don't know, I'd be like, Shawn Boogie was good every time. And when I was sick, I didn't do that.
They
So
didn't do it, man.
Shawn just missed it. Then as I felt better and I got better, and I called Shawn, and he's like, hello. And I'm like, Shawn Boogie. He's like,
That's
I've been waiting
listen.
to hear that, man.
And they got to know this. That's the way Al greets me every time we get on the phone. I'll say, "Yo, it's Shawn Boogie," but he during his time of being sick, he didn't say it, and that's what made me a little nervous and had to be like, "Yo, we need to pray. We need to make sure this man is all right," because I was so used to it, so I knew something was up when you didn't do that. But the day you called me that day, and I heard Shawn Boogie, I'm like, "Thank you, God, he's back." He's back, and I'm good now. I'm extra good. So I want people to know, again on Facebook. Listen, it doesn't have to be any specific reason. Call somebody,
Yes.
text somebody. There's no reason for you not to be in touch with anybody now. Stop being angry over the minor things with people.
And let it go.
Let it go. State your piece and your place and whatever you're going to state to the person. Once you do that, you move on with it. You've done your thing. But don't keep stuff, Don't keep stuff.
It's
You
not
know,
healthy either.
think of that. Not definitely not healthy, man. Listen, I am so loose and I release so much, honestly. Like
Yes.
I don't care for everybody 100%. I don't hate anybody, but I
Oh
don't
no.
care for some people on the level of how they treat me. But I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna fester that inside my spirit.
Right.
You
You know,
understand?
I tell people from, you know, um, one of the songs that I love that Michael Jackson do is "Man in the Mirror."
Right.
And if you listen to the lyrics of that, you're looking to change the way, and it starts with the man in the mirror, which is you. And I took that song seriously as I was looking at it, and I said, you know what? We saying the Black Lives Matter. We shouting it. But
Right.
I'm getting out there to people saying, why only Black Lives Matter when white people kill us?
Right.
What about when we kill each other? We still should be promoting it. And I even got to a point where, and I was doing it myself, definitely guilty of it, and I changed it. Again, looking in the mirror. I walk down the street, we'll walk down the street, won't say nothing to each other.
Say
Walk
word.
right past. And I made sure when I walk past these little young teenage guys, yo, what's up, young blood? How you doing? I see an older man. How you doing, sir? How is everything this morning? It don't take nothing to say, hey, how you doing? But it starts with you. And I made it my business every time I'm walking down the street, I speak to somebody. Everybody. I don't care white, green, black, but especially my people. Hey, bro, how you doing today? Everything good? All right, young blood, take it easy, man.
Let me tell you.
We got to do that.
Yeah, man. Look, I ride my bike several days a week, as I tell you, and I ride my route. And I think I was telling Denise this the other day. It's so nice because now I don't know the people around the 3 miles, but I ride the same route basically, and I see them outside during the day. And it's so nice, man, for people. Hey, don't know their names, but
Right,
just say hello, ride by. Hey, what's going on? Hey, how y'all doing today? Hey, God bless. Keep it moving. It feels so good to communicate with people like that. And it's just so
right,
sad that a lot of that is not being done. But platforms like this is why I'm so glad that I'm able to do this and something pushing me to say, hey man, just to make it worth something.
right,
So
right, right,
bring people on. I could be a clown when I want to. It's not what I want to be. I want to
right,
be able to do something for people, have a platform where we can teach, have some fun and teach. So that's what this is about. So I hope somebody out there tonight or whoever watches it when these people share it, even if they take one thing from it, take that thing, man, and just start being nice to the people.
right, right.
This pandemic should have taught people that.
I'm
These
trying to
8 months
tell
it taught people to be nicer to folks and yourself when you look in the mirror, love yourself a whole lot better. You understand?
you.
Now,
Yes, indeed.
before we wrap up, man, I don't want to hate, and I don't want to, I don't want to steal no thunder, but I just wanted to say I feel kind of left out. But I don't do this often, Al. That you got the kiss from Tamika, which you should have. You got the
Right,
lip
right.
from her.
That's right.
I'm just surprised that nobody out there is showing me that kind of love tonight. I even twisted my hair proper. Listen, man, I had my hat on the last show. I got my hair twisted right. I got my ring light with the proper lighting. You deserve your kiss the lips, but at least somebody, and don't no knucklehead dude try to be funny. And
Somebody get Shawn some love. Somebody get Shawn some love.
and I'm asking for it. Ain't nothing wrong with asking for it, right?
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. So show me some lips out there, somebody. I don't care. I'm a man. You know what I mean? I'm in tune with myself. All right, there go D. Okay, Pam, there you go. I feel good now.
I see, Pam.
I feel good. I feel good because once we close this show off, it's just me in this house, in this room with these lights. So at least I'll feel some love around me, man. Because this has been. Listen, man. I got to be honest with you, man. I love you, brother. I thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. I was looking forward to it since you told me you were going to be able to do it. And,
Yes.
and I just want to add this. My mama said a closed mouth don't get fed. So that's why I was asking for them lips. You understand what I mean? That's why so I ain't going hungry for it. But before we close out, I'm gonna give you the last couple of minutes before I tune out. If you'd like to say anything to the people out there, and then once again give your information where people can contact you for whatever reason they want. And I want people to follow this brother if you're not following him. So please, any message you want to give, man, the floor is yours for a couple of minutes.
All right, I definitely appreciate it. Just love one another, man. God is love, and if it's like Shawn said, we can't tell you who to believe in, whatever. But when you got God in your life, it makes things so much easier. You're more happier. You deal with people a little bit better. You deal with the attack from the enemies better, and change starts with you. Like I said, I made that decision that I'm not going to walk down the street and not speak to anybody anymore. Even some people ain't used to it. I'll say, hey, how you doing? And some people walk right by me. That's fine, and I'll keep doing it. And I'm just going to continue to do it. So, make that change to try to make this world a better world. We already down. They got a lot of people against us, the cops. Just being black it's like being black is a curse. And it's not. We beautiful people, and we have to show it. So just stay strong, stay prayed up, and you'll just see everything just fall in place. Let go and let God. I don't care what your situation is. Let go and let God. And again, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate y'all liking the message that me and Shawn put together and everything. And you're gonna see it some more. And again, I'm on Facebook at Al Bynum. I did put it in the chat. It's Al, last name Bynum, Bynum. You'll see me with DJing. That's another part we didn't get to, but I'm also a DJ.
Right. I did mention it earlier, but we didn't
Yeah,
tap
you
it.
did mention it. Yeah. And then like I said, and the Instagram is DJ underscore cool KOOL underscore B. And just if you got any questions or whatever, You know, I love working on projects. So again, I thank Shawn for the platform. My brother, I appreciate you. You know, and I'm seeing nothing but big things to follow. I see my boy Ty Dog. Hey, I do that to Tommy too, Tommy. I'm like, Ty Dog. You Shawn Boogie, he Ty Dog.
You gotta keep those going like that, man. That's love, man. That's
Yes,
that's the
indeed.
love. Because I always look to hear it when the phone rings. I pick up. That's what I need to hear, man. So thank you so much for everything you blessed me with, man. And you guys on Facebook, I really appreciate you again for tuning in here. D says this has been a great show. Thank you, Sean, Al, Tamika. Continued blessings. Tyreek says go with God and you'll never get lost.
Oh
Denise
yeah.
there. Tamika said, "There you go. I got my kisses. Yes, I did. I'm still a little bit. There's about 11 people on there, and I got kisses from 3 people. I ain't greedy, but it should have been a few. There should have been a few more. There should have been a few more for some of y'all out there. But anyway, I ain't gonna talk about it. She says she loves the way you guys show real affection towards one another. That's because we're real. It's
Yeah,
real.
it's
I mean,
real.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? We're grown, but that's a beautiful thing. So I want you guys again, as I always say in parting, man, thank you so much for joining me on After Dark with Shawn Cornelius and my guest tonight, brother Al Bynum. Please follow him up, hit him up, friend him up. And as I always say when I leave here, please go with God in your heart. Have a peace of mind. Have a wonderful, wonderful tomorrow. And I'll catch you around the corner and on the next episode of After Dark with Shawn Cornelius. Hey, Carla, thank you for the kisses. See, I got 2 more, Al. I ain't trying to,
Okay. All
trying to
right.
reach out, but I got 2 more I deserve. Al, man, thank you so much, brother. Have a
Yes,
wonderful night.
sir, man. Thank you.
We'll definitely be talking, and I appreciate you for breaking the message out on the show, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Thank you, man, for the platform. Definitely appreciate it. God bless you.
You got it, man. Take care. Have a good night.
All right, there.
Peace.
Yeah.